Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, where you can take some time to consider the benefits of understanding body language and nonverbal communication, the signals and messages you put out into the world without even knowing, and how you can read the minds of others through what their body tells you. Today's lesson is going to be based on the tapping of the back during a hug. Something we've all experienced and perhaps done ourselves. And it runs a little deeper than just a caring gesture. If you enjoy what you listen to, and if you want to follow me for more information, click the subscribe button. Thank you. So to start, I want you to consider if you've ever experienced this. You have hugged a friend, a family member, a work colleague, or someone in your general day-to-day life. And as you've hugged them, maybe initially at the start or as it's continued, you've tapped their back or they've tapped your back. Have you experienced that before? I'm sure most of us have done. But that's what we're going to be discussing today, and why it isn't necessarily what you may think it is. It signifies something different, okay? And you'll start to see this in your day-to-day life, paying attention to others. Okay, so jumping straight in. The tapping of the back represents an individual who isn't entirely secure in the emotional gesture of the hug. It indicates it's time to let go, okay? So whether you've done it to someone or they've done it to you, it's an indication that it's time to let go. We don't need to be hugging anymore. So if you have a look at wrestlers, when they're holding another wrestler in a submission lock or move and the other individual can't get out, they tap out, okay, to signify, I give up. Let go of me. I'm out of this. So that's what the tap on the back is. You can consider it a tap out. Now, you're going to be able to see this ever so regular, okay, in your day-to-day activities, and especially on TV. It's shown a lot on, let's say, game shows and reality TV. You'll be able to see two individuals hugging each other, and if they're not comfortable in that embrace, they will tap each other on the back, or at least one of them will initially tap out of that. All right, and it will happen on a lot of occasions before the hug is even being set in. So if somebody hugs another individual and they don't want to be hugged, from the moment their arm goes around that other individual, they'll be tapping them on the back. Okay? Now, we consider it a form of solidarity and a positive, comfortable pat. It's really not the case. It's really not the case. So you have to sort of flip your perspective of that if you're unaware of that. Most often you're going to identify this behaviour is when two heterosexual males hug. You'll see this behaviour more often then. Second to a woman who is being hugged by a man whom she doesn't deem appealing. Okay, so if a man's being a little creepy and a little bit hands-on, asking for a hug and getting a hug, the woman's going to tap out, okay, it's time to go. It shows a lack of commitment and, sexual attraction. Because when you're sexually attracted to someone, you are going to want to touch them and hold them, naturally, unless you're uncomfortable, So it's a big display of discomfort. So this has been a real brief video. I hope it made some sense, and I don't necessarily need to go into much more depth, as I'm sure you've experienced it yourself, and I'm sure you'll continue seeing it in the future, but you'll now be able to identify somebody tapping or patting on the back of another individual whilst hugging as a escape mechanism, a way to tap out such as the wrestler who needs to tap out of that submission lock when they want to get away from the other individual because it's not comfortable. All right. I hope this has been some benefit, and I hope you've learnt something today. I hope you're able to analyse this and see this in your day-to-day behaviours and apply it to your own understanding of human mechanics and what you see in the world. If you enjoy what you listen to and you think it's of benefit and you want to continue listening to how to read the minds of others through how their body acts and reacts and understand yourself and how you put out these signals to the world, click the subscribe button. Thank you. Goodbye.